walk up the stairs. When you leave, you don't have to come. When you leave, just go out this back door. You go out the door. There's a black door. Go down the stairs, and then just go straight out, and you're gonna be where the field is. So when we're open, that door's gonna be open, unlocked all the time. When you get up to where we are, the knob, just turn it. The door will be closed, but it's unlocked. And then I'm gonna put another temperature thing in the back, so when you walk in, you can take your temperature. We don't record it anyways, but you take it for yourself. If you're over 100 degrees, that means you have a fever. But anything below, most of us are like 96, right? 97. So anyways, that's the announcement. I'll do that for the rest of the week. You might hear this a few times. Because after so many times, people will still park in front. After a few times, people will still be confused. But if you plan to, you should just put a logo in your car, so just in case you decide to use one of those spaces. So anyways, do we bow? We salute? Okay. All right, ready? Go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. To the side. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Okay, hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right. To your left. Center. Inhale. Exhale. Hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right. To your left. Center. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, one more time. Hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right. To your left. Center. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, hands in your waist. Circular movements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center cross. Knees. Circular movements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center. Hands on your waist. Neck turning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, center, tilt, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, center, down, rotating, 2, 3, reverse, 2, and 3, center, hands up, pull in, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay, spread your feet, turning, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2, 3, and stop. Okay, stretch it out. Switch. 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 Switch, straighten the front knee. Switch. Switch. Sana. Okay, shake it out. Okay, deep breathing, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay, hands in your waist, shoulder roll. Okay, reverse. Okay. Sana. Okay. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, ready? Press and release. Exhale. Inhale. deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, wrists. Reverse. And sana. Okay, palms down. Bigger circle. And stop. Okay, shake it out. Okay, go side to side. And sana. Okay, I'm gonna lift up. And sana. Okay, now go right foot forward. Going to insert the needle. Okay, switch. And sana. Okay, shake it out. Hands up, deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, leg swing. side. Okay, center, switch. And center. Okay, shake it out. Deep breathing, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay, still grilling. Okay, center switch, forward and back. And center, open and close. switch. Okay, setup, circular movements. Okay, lower hoop. Shoulder height. Elbows down. Okay. Palms down. Extend. Okay, deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, diagonal flying. Switch. Okay, cloud hands. Okay, palms up. Okay, horizontal. Shoulder height. Carry tiger to the mountain. Okay, infinity sign. form the fists. Okay, strum the lute. Turn, draw the bow. Okay, fan through the back. Okay, raise the hand. Palms down. Okay, deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, so we'll go through the short form. So just stay and go as far as you can, Monte. And maybe Eddie can stand over here, help you out. Yeah. Okay, ready? Feet parallel. Okay, ready? Preparation, feet shoulder width, opening. Step up, left foot, press forward, sit back and turn the corner. Grasp the sparrow's tail. Single whip. Hold the ball. Shift the weight. Diagonal flying. Shift. Step up. Press forward. Step up, parallel stance. Raise the hand. Then from the waist, stork flaps wings. Turn. Brush knee 4 times. Third brush knee. Fourth brush knee, twist step. Strum the lute. Close the door. Form the fist and punch. Divert, block and punch. Cross the arms, leopard and tiger springs to mountain. Neutral position. Fist under elbow. Repulse the monkey. Neutral position, hold the ball, step up, diagonal flying, sit back, insert the needle, step forward, fan through the back, turn, stroke down, parry and punch, step up, form the fist and punch. Divert, block and punch. Cross the arms, leopard and tiger springs to mountain. Hands down, sit back, turn, carry tiger to the mountain. Cross hands, raise your left hand. Bend from the waist, stork flaps wings, turn. Left side, grasp the sparrow's tail, left, Lisa, left, yeah. Okay, hook your left wrist, and we open up the left side, palms in, flip it over, hold the ball, adjust your feet, diagonal flying. Sit back, stroke down, part the horse's mane. Step up, stroke down, part the horse's mane. Cross over, Jade Lady work shuttle. Sit back, cross over, Jade Lady work shuttle. Okay, hook your wrists, turn back to the front. Cloud hands. Hold the ball, reverse the ball, close the form. Okay, deep breathing. Okay, good. So we'll go through a few of the transitions that I see that maybe needs a little work on. So, one of the things is reversing the ball. Another one is probably stepping through to get the part the horse's mane. Maybe the footwork could be improved on that. And carry tiger to the mountain is always a little bit more involved than we think when we're just making a transition. So everyone's kind of getting a water break, so meanwhile we just wait for them to come back. So eventually that water machine is going away, and we'll probably start using, I'm going to put a little filtered water sink there that's going to be tied to the water that's coming in from there. That's going away. I've been paying for it for a year and 14 months. I pay $40 a month for that machine. So we didn't use it for a year, so I just threw all that money away. So I'm going to put a sink in it, and that's going to do away with that. I don't have to pay for it anymore. But I have to pay for making the sink and so forth. So, but that's something I can do. So eventually we'll just open that up, and you can just. So this sink will be just for filling water. It's going to have a little drain, but it's not going to a drain. It's just going to go into the sink. So that just simplifies things, so people can get filtered water, but it won't be chilled. That's all. Yeah, if you want to. Well, we have those little cups that are disposable. If you can. Actually, I'm going to make it so that you step on the foot pedal and you fill it. You don't have to touch the thing. Whether that helps or not. No, we're going to use that water. You can use that water. You can bring your own water too. But, we'll see. I mean, going forward, things are going to open up, and people are using the dressing rooms a little bit now too. So anyways. All right, so carry tiger to the mountain. When we're here, we bring the hands down typically, and this is happening on the back side, but it happens in the front side with the long form. So it's good to know this series of adjustments in the feet so that you can end up in this cross hand position. Now, if you cross hand on the back side, the left is outside, and the long form, the right is on the outside. So that's the difference, because in the long form you're going to turn and you're automatically in this position. In the Tai Chi Paradigm form, the left is outside, so you can turn to raise the hand. So you come up through center and you do the stork flap swings going to the left side. But this transition is what we want to make sure we get: the shifting of the weight, the pivoting of the feet, sitting, shifting and pivoting forward to upper hoop, because sometimes we forget to turn the hands out. Then when we cross the hands, we're going to just drop the carry tiger mountain is just that series of movements, but instead of coming all the way down, we're just going to go from here to this position. See? So maneuvers are just going from one position to the next, and the continuity of movement is part of sustaining your position before you lose, the conscious level of that position. So then, sometimes I see that to go to the next position, you might go like this and then forget what's going on between there, because you move your hands, then you move your feet, you move your hands, then you move your feet. Sometimes when you move your feet, you forget about the hands. Sometimes you move the hands, you forget about the feet. And that's just because you're thinking about something else, maybe the sequence or whatever. So that's why you just have to keep it in mind that that's what you heard, and then you try to bring in that little bit of information into your practice. So let's try that one more time. Carry tiger to the mountain. We'll go forward and back. I mean, there's lots of little nuances that you may not realize until you at least get this formatted into your positions. So if it's cross hand going to long form, would be like this. If it's going on the left side, on the back side, it would be like this. Okay. So then another transition is the part the horse's mane from, well, before that even, let's go to reverse the ball. So typical holding the ball is this. Okay, so when you're in the hook position, the palm goes in, and then you lower the hoop. This hook side goes in, and you kind of lift the elbow so you create the rounding position. So the rounded position is a structure. Your feet are 45 degrees, and your hands are centered like this. The shoulders relax, so you have to find that position. So it's not quite this, it's not quite this, it's sort of in between. And this hand is directly below the other hand. That's holding the ball. This is about shoulder height, or maybe right where your chin is. And then this is about where the navel is. And then reversing the ball is that. And you try to recreate this circle. So this reversing the ball is quite round. It doesn't break and do that. You have to control your elbow, your shoulder, and reset to this position. So, that's one of the control factors. You have to regulate the size of that movement, when and where your elbow and shoulders are manipulated. But that's something you have to do over and over again to discover what that is. So sometimes you don't realize that while you're moving your hands, you're moving your shoulders in the wrong direction of movement. So then your hands will end up doing this. So this looks different from this, because this area of the shoulder moved out of line with the position of your movement. It's like writing on a board. If you don't keep it parallel to the chalkboard, then the line's going to disappear on the way back. So if you ever written on a board or a chalkboard, you realize that you have to stay consistent with how the arm is modified to maintain that level of consistency. What's the consistency? Is that distance has to be maintained for the pressure. So you have pressure, and that becomes a spatial positioning, but that comes from experience. Like if you draw a line and you don't move your feet, your line's going to be over there. Why? Because you're going to only reach so far before it starts to go this way, because your body will only go so far. So in order for you to do that, you'd have to kind of lean into that a little, right? So that's kind of a perspective. So when we're doing movement in space, we have to carry that logic to movement, that even though you're not touching anything with virtual motion, you have to carry that logic into the pattern of movement. So that's why we kind of lose it a little bit when we're here, or when we go to single whip and we end up like this, right? So this should not be correct, because your center of gravity should be in the front. So when you're in single whip position, you want your elbows over the knees, not dropping to the side. So that's something that's part of muscle memory. So in order to find that position, if you went way back to the beginning, to the geometry position, you put your hands together like this, center line, and you move it to shoulder width, and then you move it to 45 degrees, right? That's the 45-degree line. And you drop your elbows. If you put your hand here, you will find there's a hollow here. That's because your shoulder's forward. If you pull your arms behind you, beside you, and straighten, this fills out, right? And you bend your elbow, and you bend your elbow. That's not as hollow as this, right? So that's hollowing that is cupping your shoulders. You may not realize that because you can't see it, because you're seeing something in the two-dimension. You can't see the body form unless you look from the side and you realize that the elbows are not here, they're here. But that's your 45-degree line. So how important is that? Well, if you're trying to do muscle memory to learn your positions, and your muscle memories these positions that are all going to be important as you progress, then all that time holding it here has been wasted. Your muscle memory the wrong position. So it's important to realize, the geometry of position and where your framework is. Your skeletal structure is a frame, and you work it by moving it. So that's the simplistic way of thinking about it. Everything is made up of a frame, and then it has a skin on it. So that's what our body is really. It's a skeleton, and it has a skin on it. It's our epidermis that wraps all the muscles and tissue. But the thing is, we have to look at this just as a shape, and then we move our hands as a pattern. So there's a circular pattern, this is a square movement, this comes into a triangular position that kind of is maneuvered into those positions. So that keeps it pretty consistent as far as how our hands move. Now once we're here and we're in the hold the ball position, when we reverse the hands, that's the circle that we're working. So you can see it's pretty round. If you had your steering wheel hand, you're turning it, it's going to be turning right off that center point, like on a ship, and you're turning that steering wheel, right? So it's attached, so you can't vary from the hands. If you hold that steering wheel and you're going like this, it's not going to turn, because you're going to end up like this, pulling it, and it's not going to move. You have to kind of do this, right? So when we do this, this is where it varies. Now the body's going to turn 45 degrees, and then you reverse, and the foot turns the other 45 degrees, and you're here. So reversing the ball is 1, 2, 3. Right? Hold the ball, reverse, and then turn to the corner. And turn to the corner. That's essentially all you do. That's what you're doing. So when we're here, it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, the diagonal flying right side. So that's the breakdown of the movement. Yeah. Yeah. It's like that. Yeah. This is transitional. This is a position. Now, is there a position like this? There is. Stork flaps wings, Jade Lady works shuttle. That's that position. So when we reverse the ball, we're here. Now if I turn like this, that's leading me to here. And then I do part the horse's mane, or whichever follows, right? So if I'm here, this is one position, this is another position, that's another position, this is another position, and this is another position. So those are transitional positions. Like every, I call it transition with structural integrity. the value of that really is important as you apply the technique, because the value of your structural integrity, which probably 80 to 90% of the teachers out there don't understand it, mainly because they didn't learn it like that. Everybody waves their hands and it's graceful and it's connected, but when it comes to application and they didn't learn this, it's not applicable. So a lot of times when you're first learning Tai Chi, you're not interested in that side of it. But if you want your movements to be accurate and precise, then it comes into this, because this is where your skeletal structure maneuvers naturally and consistently. So just doing slow motion movement, mimicking a sequence, is not Tai Chi even. It's just kind of a dance. So when you're doing Tai Chi, it has to have a certain amount of consciousness, intent, and consistency or structural integrity. So the rest of it is really what you program into your body, or the understanding. So without this kind of structure, it's actually not functional. It's just a bunch of movements. Because one of the goals when you move is to move naturally, and the way your anatomy, your skeletal structure has been designed to move. So most of the conflict in movement is the conflict. We don't really know how to move. We don't really know how to use our joints correctly. Then when you integrate it, it's even more confusing, or even not, represented up in here, because we don't know that there's a difference. We don't know that there's a difference, mainly because we never taught it. When you grow up from an infant, what do you know about structure and integrity? And then you're a teenager. Then you go on and you go on with the rest of your life. And when did you ever move? Logically and consistently. So that's why something like this, or martial arts, actually does help you learn that if it's taught like that. So a lot of the styles that are out there, the traditional styles, are taught like that at certain levels. But most of the people that kind of recreationally practice, they don't understand any of this. That was in the Millennium Year, there was an article in the Tai Chi magazine, and one of the questions they asked me was, what do we need going forward for Tai Chi? I said the most important thing are good qualified teachers. That was year 2000. What year are we in now? 21 years later? Can you imagine 21 years later? It's probably still the same answer. So if you look at that article, a lot of teachers had an opinion on what would happen. That article is actually on our website if you look for it, because we copied the things here. So there's a bunch of articles on the website that was in Tai Chi magazine that's no longer in print now. But it really is just what we strive to do with the Tai Chi. So here we go in here, and then when you flip. Now I showed you this, and this is two separate things. That's upper body, lower body, and then when you're here, you do diagonal fly. So those are all pieces, but you have to kind of sort it out and tie it together. So if you're here and you start to turn, then this foot starts to move. You see, when I reverse like this and then shift my body, now this becomes a function of this. You see that? So that's what you have to practice as a control factor of the hands and the legs moving in a synchronized way, so that you have an integration of the body, and eventually your body will recognize that, and what happens is it has a relationship. Your arms and legs are actually supposed to work together, building that balance and motion. If you don't build that balance and motion, then everything's going to be isolated and broken. So in Tai Chi, you should be connected, right? You should be one continuous feeling of motion. But the connection and the continuity of that is really not just a physical thing, it's a mental thing. Your consciousness of your movement should always be, something that you're aware of but tracking so that you don't break the movement. So when we're here, when we're learning it, it's this. When you evolve, then everything starts to become a blend of movement. And then you talk about this and this. That's a transition to find horizontal to vertical. And then we're here. There's one part, the horse's mane. Then when you sit back, the second one, you just go directly to hold the ball. Now you can't forget this hand position. This is where we lose it a little bit. When we step up, you have to move to your center before you stroke down. Okay? So this is what happens if you don't do that. Right? Lisa? Isn't that what happened? So because I missed it? No. Because we're standing in front of the mirror. That's why I use the mirror. So I can see what you're doing. So I'm not watching myself, I'm watching you. So that's why I have the mirrors. So I'm spying on your movement. So, yeah. So that's what happens when you're here. So as you build, each one is really one unit, but you have to have a connection. And then you move to this side. Then you sit back, you toe out, and you step up. And we do the next two, okay? So the Jade Lady Work shuttle was pretty good on this side, but when we got to that side, it became this. Yeah, so we have a right and left sides, and actually Saturday I worked on a little drill for Jade Lady Work shuttle. So you just stand like this, and you go forward, back to neutral, and your hand. So there's your left side. If I go to center and I turn this way, and I go to vertical, and I turn back to center, I find this side. So the value of that is that you develop a consistency in your hand movement, but then you learn to move your shoulders and torso a little bit to the corners. So that's, everything that we speak about as far as muscle memory, if you don't go through that, repetitious type training, it's a route type training where you go over and over. That's how you memorize things, by reciting and saying it over and over again, like a phone number. This is doing movements where your body has to learn it over and over again. And then you'll develop not just muscle memory for a position, but muscle memory in a sequential event. So every movement is an event, and every posture is a unit. So we're like this, and we go forward, back, and forward. There's one. If you want to go to neutral, and then go to horizontal, and then back to center, and turn, then you can define your movements in space. So they build some accuracy of motion, right? Then when you step, if we do it toward the mirror, and I sit back, then we cross, and all you have is the same experience that you had building that horizontal, vertical, and center. So what ends up happening when you start to practice like that is that it really comes down to the front and two corners. Everything is all working along the line, just like your center line. Once you establish a center line in your body, or you understand what center line is, then it doesn't matter where you face. It's always going to be relative to that type of a position. And transitioning through that is what your body loses track of. Because spatial awareness is something that we lack a lot of, because we don't do many things outside of that, or here, right? So we have to understand that as a practice, and then you go home, you have a little time, you just do that a few times, a few times a week, and then it's going to get better. It's a course of doing it. Now, if you do it, say, 3 or 4 times or 5 times every day, it's going to be in the forefront of your mind. And then, because it's there, you're always going to be a little bit conscious, aware of it. So even throughout the day, it's in there, churning away, and eventually it gets figured out. That's how it works. This problem solving is that. But you have to be aware of the problem. And it's always there, and you're always kind of thinking about it. And then you wake up in the morning, and then there's the solution. I mean, if you've ever had that experience, then you would know that that's a normal thing. It happens a lot. So, okay, so that's enough of that. We're going to go through the form, right? The long form. So, with each class we try to pick up on something different, right? knee left. Okay, forward, turn to your right, planting punch. Step up, turn, 180 degree turn. Parry and punch, set up. Burst the ball. Flip it over, face the corner. Step out. This is beat the tiger, right side. 180 degree to the back. Left side. Turn toward the mirror. Lower hoop, cross the arms. Right heel kick. 2 punches to the ear. Flip it over. Parting leg, turn, 360, parting leg, stroke down. Here's your parry and punch again. Form the fist and step up, punch. Same divert infinity sign, block and punch. Leopard and tiger springs to mountain. And here we have carry tiger to the mountain again. So it's just a transition taking us back to the cross hand position. Oblique brush knee, and we do this a second set, a second time in the form. Right side, grasp the sparrow's tail. Take us to single whip. Okay, here we have what we just worked on. Hold the ball. Reverse. Diagonal flying. Turn. Stroke down. Hold the ball. Pot the horse's mane. Stroke down. Hold the ball. Pot the horse's mane. Sustain your hand positions. Pass through center. Neutral position left. Hold the ball. Left side, pot the horse's mane. Step up. Go through the same process. 2 more times. Pot the horse's mane. When we cross corner, the Jade Lady work shuttle. Do forward, back, turn, and forward. Pivot. This way, pivot, pivot, step, step. Vertical to horizontal. Keep the front hand vertical. That's the hand that goes up. Okay. Stroke down. Pot the horse's mane. Cross over. Left hand is up. Left hand is horizontal. Left hand is vertical. Fold the elbow. Go to the upside. Turn. Pivot. Pivot. Step. Step, your right side is forward, horizontal, vertical turn, lift up, Jade Lady work shuttle, hook your wrist, back to neutral, grasp the sparrow's tail, and single whip. Okay, second set of cloud hands, diagonal position. Okay, this is your second set of cloud hands. Okay, turn. Cup of hand, snake sticks out tongue. Invert, flip over, pull down, step up the golden cockroach, stands on one leg, right knee up, press down, stab forward, withdraw the knee, neutral right and reverse. Okay, this is your second set of repulse the monkey. So this is just a big repeat. mountain. Open the stance. Hold the ball. Shift. Step up. Press forward. Raise the hand. Bend from the waist. Stork flaps wings. Toe heel turn. Brush knee one time. Second insert needle. Second fan to the back. And we have the parry and punch again. We form the fist and step up. First time we step, reverse the stance. Divert, block, and punch. Step up, grasp the sparrow's tail to single whip. Okay, that sets us up for the third set of cloud hands. And we hook our wrists. Then next, set up, palm strikes face, turn your shoulders, the left palm's out, then we hold the position, turn, okay, single lotus kick, set up your brush knee for left high push, then we set up for the right side, step through, with a punch down the crotch, and step up to grasp the sparrow's tail again, to single whip. Then we go to the second downward posture. And leads us to the closing movement. So you cross the hand, 7-star, retreat, and ride the tiger. Left palm strikes face on this side. Turn, change the hands to a double lotus kick. Draw bow to shoot tiger. Step up again, palm strikes face, repeating that movement after the third set of cloud hands. A standard parry and punch that we set up for high pat the horse. And we step up to grasp the sparrow's tail, right side again, to single whip. Hook your wrist, turn to the front, that's your single whip. Then we repeat, hold the ball, reverse the ball, diagonal flying, and we turn to closing movements. And down. Okay, that's it. Deep breathing, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Just a couple of simple tips. Vertical position is just your center line. Triangle position. When your hands are like this in the hoop position, whether it's low, middle, or high, the elbow will dictate the direction you're turning in. So if you're doing Jade Lady work shuttle, and this becomes the horizontal, well, then that's that side. If you're on this side, and this hand is up, that's elbows out, it turns this way. Elbows like this, or like this, you turns this way. When your hands are like this, it turns. So it's horizontal kind of is right and left most of the time. There might be some rare exceptions, but if you look at it, if I'm here, I'm turning here. If I'm here, I'm turning there. If I'm here, I'm turning this way. You see, so it's pretty consistent as far as the direction you turn. So once your hands are in position, then you